Hello, everybody out there in YouTube. We are the Middle Age Guys, and we are back with another edition of what we've been playing this week. The weekly recap of, well, whenever we get a chance to actually enjoy our most favorite hobby in all the world. All right. Before we jump into the games for this week, let's go ahead and get the introductions out of the way. I am the Reverend.
The theme here.
And I'm Grandma Swan.
And just like usual, these aren't full reviews or anything. This is just a quick recap of what we've been playing when we actually get a chance to play any games. As middle-aged guys, real life doesn't always allow us to do that. But when we do, we want to go ahead and just give our quick thoughts. Sometimes we'll have games that carry over from previous weeks. Sometimes there'll be new ones. But we don't really go into that deep or anything like that. How many do we have in front of us right now, guys? I've got 5.
I have 7.
What about you?
I have about 5 or 6.
Okay, so I guess with Theme having the most, let's go ahead and have you kick it off.
Commando for the NES. Run and gun. Anything that moves, shoot it. You kill it. Don't leave anybody alive. Unless you rescue the prisoners when you go down ladders and tunnels and stuff like that. But anybody that tries to kill you, you kill it and you move on. And yeah, run and gun. A great run and gun based off the arcade game. And it was a pretty good translation to the NES. Especially for its time with the music and you had not slow down really, but you had like the shadowing and things like. But pretty good game, run and gun, grenades, secret areas, good music while you're shooting them up, and love this game.
Wolf of the Battlefield, as they call it in Japan. And actually, I think they have a sequel to that available on PlayStation Live, PSN.
Really?
Yeah.
I was not aware of that.
Yeah, there's a sequel of it, and you won't find it under Commando, but I think it's called Wolf of the Battlefield or something like that, number 3 or something. Yeah. All right. Gray Mouse, you are up next, sir. What do you got for us?
All right. So, again, I'm going to go with the retro. For those of us who are Nintendo fans, know that Nintendo launched a online service this week. I think on the 19th, I believe. And that gave me an opportunity to play a couple of NES games. So one of the NES games that I played is one of my all-time favorite games of all time. Obviously, all-time favorite game. Comes with a gold cart. Everybody knows it. I don't even have to show it. Legend of Zelda on the NES. What hasn't been said about this? I'm not going to go into anything.
It hasn't been said that it sucks.
Yeah.
That's what hasn't been said, because that's not true.
You're right. That's a good thing. It's really cool that it's an old game, but you can still challenge yourself to try to get all the way up to Ganon without dying, or with 3 hearts and stuff like that. So there's still a lot of things you could do through with the playthrough through the game. But yeah, if anybody hasn't played this, God, I hope there's not any, man, just play this. Awesome game. Go ahead, Rev. What you got for us today?
What I've got, well, actually, yeah, I went ahead and just like Gray Mouse, I took the dive into the Nintendo Switch online service, ponied up the $20 for the full year. And after downloading all this stuff and everything, I really didn't get the chance to jump too deep into it. But I did mess around with the NES online games that they had available. And the one that I spent actually any significant time with was Double Dragon. So, yeah, pretty much just going through like the first few levels. Even the well-known glitches that are on the original game are there on the ROM and everything else. Yes, it is single dragon as the theme and Gray Mouse would say, because there is
going to say
simultaneous. But as an action game and as a beat 'em up, it's still a very solid game. thankfully, you know, this was one of those games where the folks at Trade West, they pretty much were kind of just really figuring out what the NES was trying to do and what it was capable of. Where, you know, further games into the not only this series but other beat 'em ups they have actually ended up being a lot deeper and had better controls, like Double Dragon 2, Target Renegade, and other games like that. So definitely a classic. It's good to waste like around 20 minutes on it, and then I had to sit there and I realized that I was already awake for far too long, and I had to get up really, really early in the morning to make an off-site meeting. But yeah, that's pretty much the first game that I'm going to be bringing out. Which brings us back to you, Theme. Go ahead and show us what you got, sir.
I guess we're sticking with the NES for a while. I remember playing this game because I remember one night I couldn't sleep when I was in junior high. And I woke up, it was like 1 in the morning. And then it was like a Friday, so I didn't have to go to school the next day. And it took me like 2.5 to 3 hours to beat this game in one sitting. Wizards and Warriors for the NES. Yeah. This game, good soundtrack, good control, great game all the way around. It's by Acclaim, but Rare had its hand into it. So I think that's what made the game a bit better. Yeah, Rare makes Rare games. I just didn't understand. Maybe it was the Acclaim license that stopped this from being on Rare Replay. But anyway, great quest, great game, just running around. And yeah, Boots of Force.
Yep.
Boots of fucking Force. Kick those treasure chests open and get all the gems. Thou have discovered gems. Thou hast discovered Boots of Force. Thou hast discovered the levitation. Thou hast the shield. Wizards and Warriors, the first one anyway. Great game. Yes, Iron Sword was good, but I stick with the first one. Great game.
Cool.
All right. For my next game, I'm going to stick with the NES as well. And for this next game, this character is extremely well known. He has been in countless games, and he's also been he's wearing many hats, he's had many suits, he's even turned to stone. And on top of that, this man was on the planet Earth, and people were chanting his name as the camera pulled away, talking about Mario, Mario, Mario.
Well, you're playing 3.
Well, that's what I was. That was the Mario 3 commercial that I was alluding to.
Oh, I know, but that's the one you played.
This is the one that I played, the one that I love. This is definitely the best. I don't know. I think this is one of the best NES games that they made, and I think this is that when the NES was at its top tier before it moved on to the SNES. The graphics, the sounds, what you can do, just the gameplay, and I think this is when we were actually introduced to the Koopa Childrens. So now we know why Princess was always kidnapped. Anyway, but yeah, Mario 3, I highly recommend it to anybody and everybody. If you enjoy a Mario platform, this is your game. Mario 3, what's left to say about it? Yes and yes.
That's the Mario game that got PETA on Nintendo's ass.
Oh yeah, I forgot
that's
about
what
that.
decades later.
No. I mean, even back then, you know, it was one of the ones. But yeah, let's.
Why wasn't that one and not the first Super Mario Brothers when you were jumping on turtles and making them slide?
Because they weren't as obnoxious yet.
They were getting there.
They were getting there. All right. Okay. I'm going to step away from the NES. I'm going to actually move into the 16-bit realm now. And just fair warning, the rest of the games that I'm going to be going over with and everything else, I'm going to probably keep my thoughts short because these are games that I continue to play from last week. Unlike usual, where I just start things up and play for like the first 10 minutes, I'm actually kind of making an effort to press through some of these games. So this is actually a good thing for me. But once again, went ahead and I continued revisiting through Shadowrun. In fact, I passed through finishing playing through the Anarchy building. I think the full runtime on this particular game, it'll take you an average of around 8 to 10 hours to go ahead and play through. What makes it seem like a lot longer than it actually is the fact that there are only certain places that you can save. And when you actually go into places like, whether it be the Drake's Volcano, the Anarchy building, let's see here, the Rex Shipyard in Bremerton and stuff like that, there are no save points in those areas. So if you die, you start back at whatever the last save point was at. If you're really, really deep into there and the boss kills you, then you have to go through everything again. All right. But thankfully that wasn't the case and everything else. And playing it on the hacked SNES Classic made it really, really easy with the save states and all of that. It also gave me a chance to go ahead and test out the playing through it using the Wii U Pro controllers,
Wow.
which is actually, this is a set of a whole bunch of them that I went ahead and I piecemealed together using the different colors. Yeah.
Love that gold one.
Yeah. Well, I've got the solid gold one and the all black one. That's actually stowed away safely in their packaging. So, but yeah, that's another thing that I did this week. Once I got the extra parts and everything else, the extra controllers to go ahead and do the swap jobs. But that's pretty much what I continued on with. Back to you, Theme.
You threw out a Mario earlier, Gray Mouse. And arguably, the two games that you just presented for the NES are arguably the greatest game of all time on the NES. Maybe minus a couple of games. But Mario, as well known as he is, he's rarely been in a situation where his games were horrible when he's in his normal habitat of going around, collecting coins, jumping on and below things and busting, and no matter how much power that he has, as far as hats or as far as flowers, stars, drugs, shrooms, whatever. But this one right here. Look, the cover of the game says it all. Coins, money, cash, gold, whatever. It even has a coin counter of how much you collected that you can actually reset, things like that. But this is absolutely cool. And it's only for the 3DS. Only for the 3DS. Yes, there's a new Super Mario Brothers, there's a new Super Mario U or whatever, but the 2, it's only for this. And it is a grand game. It is a different game. And some of the things that can happen to you are just downright unfair. I remember I was on a rope and I was going and I had stopped. And then if you stand there for maybe 3 seconds, Mario will lose his balance and he'll fall. Instead of, assessing the situation, I was just like, I fell. And I thought about it and I was like, okay, I can't even get mad at that. But new Super Mario Brothers 2 for the 3DS, great freaking game. We're back to you, Gray Mouse.
All right, so I'm going to jump ahead a little bit, just a little smidgen. And this is one of my all-time favorite games also. But it's kind of weird. A lot of people don't know that this is a prequel. It's on the Game Boy. And people that love the series know it's the prequel. But the game that I'm talking about is Final Fantasy Adventure, which is the prequel to my next game that I was playing. So I played this, and I was like, you know what? I feel like I need to play the part 2. So I pulled out my old Super Famicom and broke out Secret of Mana.
The fact that you have that on Super Famicom within box.
Yeah. And I have the manual as well. And then, so, I mean, this is the US version of it. This game, this is like the first RPG that you could actually play with your friends, because everybody knows at a elementary level that it is really boring to watch another person play an RPG. It's not enjoyable for the people in the room. It's enjoyable for you, but not the people that's in the room. This Square Enix, or Squaresoft back in those days, actually remedied that. And they allowed a second player to play. So recently, PlayStation 4 actually had a re-release of it, which is full of bugs. But I know that there has been a new release, or not a new patch on it, and I haven't had the opportunity to play it to make sure that the patch was good, because when you first got this, I got this at release because I was getting a physical copy was kind of really hard to get. But there was a lot of problems with the AI. The AI was extremely stupid, and it was just a bunch of buggy. In fact, it bugged out a lot of times to where, especially in the Forest of Seasons, you get jammed up in there and you just get stuck, and the game won't let you progress any further because the AI is stuck somewhere in fall when you have to go through the seasons the proper way to continue the game. But I haven't played the game since the patch, so yeah. So basically, I played the entire series this week. the re-release, the Famicom, the Super Nintendo, and the sequel, or the prequel. Rather.
AI is
awesome. But I don't like Secret of Mana at all. Nah.
All right. Let me go ahead and continue on deeper in, and to sit there and to prove that this isn't just about old guys playing ancient games. One of the games that I continued playing through this week was, of course, SNK Heroines. All right. Which I got to say at this point is pretty much a grind fest, just to go ahead and get all the gold to purchase all the customizable items.
Grind fest in a fighting game?
Yeah. I mean, it's because the thing is that I haven't went online with it now that the Nintendo Switch online service is available. I haven't went online to do any multiplayer versus, but I don't know if that's really going to change the experience all that much, because, like I said in the last video that we did for this, it's not the deepest fighting game experience out there. In fact, I would say that it qualifies as a fighting game in the very base, most elementary, term. But yeah, if you're into the SNK waifus, beating each other up with all sorts of flowery special effects and everything, SNK Heroines, on the Switch, or I know that it's also available digitally on the PS4, which I haven't checked out, but I hope it runs better on that than it does on the Switch, because just the fact that it's not running at a lock 60 is kind of disappointing. But I won't go on about that any longer. Team, back to you.
Fighting games, huh? I remember when we mentioned this. Well, I mentioned this last week. This is the Japanese version of Street Fighter EX plus Alpha for the PlayStation, and I was hoping that this would be on the PlayStation Classic, but I digress. 3D Street Fighter, and look, it's not just Street Fighter characters, and that's what made the game, well, better than it was originally. Look, the addition to having Sakura on here plus Alpha, because she wasn't in the arcade version. She wasn't in the arcade version, and then you had the Raging Demon, Goki, Akuma. Goki is his Japanese name, and I love calling him Goki. Man, oh man, I had a lot of great times with this. With characters in particular that I used to just mess up people and trap people with, like Sakura. She was a damn... Woo, she was messed up on this game. a monster. Zangief, a monster. Darren, a monster. Akuma, duh. You know, there were certain things that you could do to people that was just totally wrong in EX plus Alpha. But it is a fun fighting game. Still play it to this day, obviously. And PlayStation Classic, if you have this, wow. Even though I don't think you'll be able to get the license for the Street Fighter and Akira characters, but wishful thinking. Love this game. Gray Mouse, we're back to you.
All right, so this game that I'm going to show here in a second is a continuation, like the Rev was talking about earlier. This is something that I've played in the previous weeks that I have picked up again. It's Marvel Superman.
What?
Superman?
Or Spider-Man. Jeez, man, I am really... Anyway, but that doesn't even make any sense. Anyway, Marvel Spider-Man. So, oh my gosh. Again, this game is kind of like Arkham Asylum. It just is. And you get to swing around New York City. And I haven't really went further into the storyline. I've been swinging around the city doing like side missions and stuff. So yeah, I put about another hour and a half, 2 hours into this, and it's still extremely enjoyable. I highly recommend it, especially if you guys like the Batman Arkham game. And that's probably why I said I was thinking Batman, I was DC, and it just Anyway, but yeah, I highly recommend this game. Please get it. Play it, enjoy it, and call it by its freaking right name, Spider-Man. Jeez Louise, what are you going to do with me, man?
Oh, we'll figure it out. Let me go ahead and let's pick up and continue on. Continuing from last week, again, Bejeweled 3. This has been, not to give out too much information, but this has been my go-to game. This is what I'll be playing when I'm taking a shit or waiting for things around the house. All right. The other version of Bejeweled 3 that I've been playing on a regular basis, again, continuing playing through Honey Pop, play a few rounds before I go to sleep. Also one of the reasons why it's kind of hard for me to get enough sleep throughout the week. But great puzzle game. All right. Whether or not you played Bejeweled 3 or Honey Pop, I recommend both. Okay.
I still say Butterfly is the best music.
That's a matter of
debate about that later.
Yeah, we can debate on that later. Love the Dreamcast. Love this game. Sonic in 3D done right. Not just a bad guy. Not just a good guy story. But a bad guy story is as well. Great game. Great soundtrack. Great Sonic game. Even though it's in 3D. Great control. Graphics ahead of its time. Dreamcast. Damn it. Gray Mouse, you're up.
Wow. My next game I picked up when I was in the store today, which is pretty cool. Needs no introduction, but Dragon Quest XI. The one gripe that I have, if I do have a gripe about this, is that the British acting voiceovers is just horrible, and the dialogue on the characters and stuff, it sounds like I'm playing a game from Down Under. I'm just saying. I was really struck by that. I was like, wow. And I was even looking through the menu to try to change the voiceovers to Japanese. I couldn't find it. I mean, I was that disgruntled about this. But it's a typical Dragon, huh?
I said, wow.
It's a typical Dragon Quest game, save the world, stuff like that. But yeah, I played about 3 hours into this. More to come. I'm pretty sure that this will probably pop up on our next video or the next. Anyway, back to you, Rev.
Cool. Well, a game that's probably going to show up on more videos going forward. And it's not just because I work for these folks, but continued playing through. Wow. Finally got my mount. Finally got that bitch.
Hey,
And what's up?
how much grinding did you do?
Actually, surprisingly, not a lot. But the cool thing is, now that I got the mount, it actually it made clearing out some of the exploring the through one of the maps a lot easier. It's actually making exploring through the maps way more easier. The problem is that I'm getting to the point now where I'm starting to realize it's like, well, do I really want to go ahead and dive deep into this and get involved socially with other players, or do I just want to keep on going solo? So far, I'm at level 25, so I leveled up more than just one level this week. I actually gained 3 before doing our videos. It's, like I said, the whether you like it or hate it, WoW as a game, all 50 gigs worth, it's a wealth of content and everything on that. I am now at a point where it's like, okay, I understand why people, would lose hours of their life and hopefully not, their actual lives, sitting in front of their computers, playing this for ad nauseum, okay, or neglect their children or pets or things like that. But that's commentary in another vein. Yeah, again, this is probably one that's going to show up again throughout the next few videos and the next few weeks as we continue doing this. All right.
You're going down a deep rabbit hole, man.
Well, thankfully, I'm not paying for it. It's just a perk for working for the company. Back to you, Theme.
I remember when we were playing this at the Reverend's house when I brought it over there. Escao 2. Shoot 'em up, bullet hell for the 360. This is a Japanese game. However, it's region free. If you have the American Xbox and if you look up, grab this game if you love shoot 'em ups, if you love bullet hells. Yes, and so much yes to this. We were playing it at Reverend's house, and bullets is just we were taking turns with the controllers. Great shoot 'em up. Gray Mouse, you're up.
You said that one's Espeluga, right?
Yes.
I think the first one is actually available on Steam.
Right. And this is the second one, the Black Label. Yeah. On the Xbox 360.
Yeah, just saying. Go ahead, Gray Mouse.
Just real quick, I have no physical copy to show you, but I've been playing Guild Wars 2. It's the bastard child of WoW, because without WoW, there would never have been Guild Wars 2. And Guild Wars 2 is subscription free. Anyway, they just released a new season or episode 4 now, and it carries on the storyline, the main storyline, in between the expansions. And I have to agree with the mounts. The mounts make these maps a lot easier to navigate. With Guild Wars, you have 6 mounts, and there's different. Each mount does something differently. Makes you jump further, makes you jump higher, makes you actually physically fly through the terrain. And you can actually, it's called a roller beetle. You can actually ride a roller beetle like a motorcycle and go through walls and stuff. But yeah, I've been playing that as well. Back to you, Rev.
Well, I'm actually out of games for what I've been playing this week. There hasn't been a lot, so
I have one more.
Go ahead, Dean.
Have to return to this. Yes, I have a story about this game, waking up people on a flight from Japan to the United States, playing this with my headphones on. I died, and I said, damn it. And I shouted it very loud, and you can't do that on flights. But I had to return to this, and I'm getting very far. I will beat this. This is the only Ghosts and Goblins game with the title Ghosts and Goblins on it that I have not beat yet.
Are we at a conclusion with all the games we've got?
Yes.
Cool. And that, folks, is the games that we played this week. Like always, we want to know what you think about the games we played. We want to know, is there a game that you want us to go ahead and take a peek at? Maybe take some time to go ahead and play. You could always let us know by leaving us a comment below. Whether you like if you want, whether you like the video or you dislike the video, mark it appropriately, but always leave us a comment. And if you're interested in seeing more videos from us and you want to encourage us to keep on doing this, we do suggest subscribing to our channels and turning on those notifications. With all that said, all of our bullshit about what we played this week ends right here. I am the Reverend.
The theme here.
I'm Gray Mouse 1.
Once again, for the benefits of common sense, logic, and gaming, and not just ancient games, even current games, for those who like to watch the video all the way. Credits.